All right, welcome to 1.14. So, right now we're currently in 1.14.2 because, as you know, in 1.14.3 you can no longer get the God armor where you can apply every single type of protection on a single armor piece. So, this is really important. Also, just to go over the features here really quick, we got bamboo, barrels, bells, blast furnaces, campfires, cartography tables, composters, fletching tables, grindstones, new flowers, lanterns, lecterns, looms, note blocks, or at least new note block sounds, scaffolding, that's really big, some new signs that are in different woods, some slabs, smithing tables, smokers, stairs, stone cutters, walls. There's now walls in the game, which I think was already, I think at some point we had walls maybe, or this is the first time we're getting walls because we already have this here obviously. So new types of walls, crossbows, leather horse armor, sweet berries, foxes, pandas, pillagers, ravager jockeys, trader lummers, wandering traders, villager outposts, new villagers, new types of villages, and snowy tundra zombie villages. Raids are in the game as well. So there's a lot to do here. So what I'm thinking of doing is, first, I think it kind of goes without saying, but I think getting really good villager trades out of the gate here and breeding villagers is probably going to be the best way to go. So that's what we're going to do. So as you know, downstairs in our basement, I mean almost a dungeon I'd call it, but we have our villagers breeder, our old one that we used to breed villagers from previous updates. And we're just going to use that to breed new villagers because the way villagers traded back then was a little bit more complicated and kind of rough around the edges. Now it's completely different, where we don't have to rely on certain things like, oh, does a villager have a certain profession, or it can't breed with another villager if it doesn't have a certain profession. We don't have to worry about that anymore. So we're pretty much set up here to make some more halls of prosperity here. What I need to do now is I need to get some wool so we can make some beds. Who knows what we want? This is going to be really, really scuffed. I don't think I'm going to do this in any sort of traditional manner for the villager breeder, but I think we're just going to wing it. So I think what we're going to have to do, especially here, we're going to need villagers who have every type of protection trade within a reasonable price. We're going to need thorns, we're going to need unbreaking, and especially a mending villager. Oh, never mind. They were all breeding. What? So apparently they did breed, and there wasn't a weird bug. So now we have just a ton of jobless villagers. This is literally perfect. So the thing about 1.14, so when there's a workstation or any kind of job-based block, like a lectern, whoever takes the job will go to it as long as they're close enough. We can just lure that guy in a minecart, and yeah, this is going to go actually really well. Wow, the stars are just totally aligning right now. This is great. Okay, so I'm just going to get some extra rails here, and then we're also going to make a little section. We can sort of reset their trades a whole bunch until we get what we want, and then we ship them off to the opportunity hallways, I like to call them. So remember, every type of protection. So blast, fire, regular protection, and projectile. Then we're going to need pretty much, honestly, I think I want to be picky, and I think we're just going to get every single type of armor enchantment, except for like the curses, obviously, and maybe some ones that are really useless. Like I probably won't get Frostwalker. I don't really care for that. All right, so got all the materials. Let's get ourselves first a mending villager, and this is going to take a while. So I'll probably just cut to when I get each type of villager that I need, and then we'll be good. Okay, so I realize it doesn't matter what order we kind of get the enchantments in. We're just going to get whatever we're supposed to get in the kind of laundry list of enchantments we need. So I got Unbreaking 3 first, so we're going to do that, and it's a fairly reasonable price. And we're just going to buy a bookshelf instead because I'm not buying all that. And you're gone. I think making another hall here, another trading hall, might be a good idea. Or even multiple based on categories. I mean, we have so many like little rooms here we could use that we just don't. So I think like, you know, maybe one section could be armor, then kind of like weapons based stuff, then tools, something like that. So I'm just going to dig this out. But yeah, I think we're going to do it like armor based, and we're going to do this one. This one's going to be armor enchantments. And then this one's going to be like tools. So yeah, I'll cut when I'm done with this as well, because it's pretty, it takes a while, and I think I'm just going to get the main structure down that we have here. Not have entirely built, because we're just trying to get the villagers done, so. Okay, here is Aqua Affinity. There we go. Alright. Literally, new villager, just placed down the lectern. First trade. 7 emeralds for Aqua Affinity. And this is our Aqua Affinity guy for 16. So sometimes you just can't win. So I will be seething. Okay, here is Depth Strider 3 for 19. Fortunately, I am going to have to buy the book. But there you go. 36 for mending. I don't know if I want it. I don't know. Honestly, I don't think I can take this. 36 is way too much. You can get mending for at least 10, so I think I'm going to pass that up. Okay, Feather Falling 4 for 31. That is a fairly good deal. Okay, I just found an amazing trade. It's not for armor, but it is for pickaxe. It's 18 emeralds for efficiency 5. So normally I think I'd pass like something for a tool up, but just in this case, I don't think I'm going to get that deal probably ever again. So I'm just going to migrate this villager to another spot. And I also made these little icons. The problem with some of these hallways is actually they're going to run into this one. Like this one is going to clash with this. So I'm going to have to use a kind of a different design for this one and this one. Maybe actually just this one, and I can do the same treatment for this. Either way, I'm just gonna have that villager move there, and then obviously you can tell I've kind of finished up this room as well. So yeah, we got about we still need all the protections, and then I think that's it. I think we need respiration. I think that's what we need, and then other than that, thorns and respiration, then all the protections. So that's what. Protection, so 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, we should be able to get it here. So yeah. Well, so right after that, we got mending for 14. We are totally hitting the jackpot here. So I'm going to do the same treatment again and migrate this guy. All right, we got protection 4 for 23. That's a pretty good deal. Okay, sharpness 5. For 23. Here is Smite 5 for 17. Unfortunately on the sharpness one I actually ended up mining the lectern, so I never got it. So that's a bit of a bummer, but at least we got Smite 5 though. Alrighty, we got Projectile Protection 4. Let's snag that. Alrighty, Respiration for 18. Okay, Thorns 3 for 22. Alrighty, we got a God Roll, Fire Protection for 15. That's pretty good. So the only thing we need left is Blast Protection, and then we'll be done with the armor. I'm probably just gonna skip the rest of the other enchantments just because it's pretty boring. So yeah. Okay, so I've got all the protections done within reasonable prices. Blast Protection 4 took a while, so it's at 24 emeralds. And then Thorns 3 for 23, 22. Respiration for... I actually hit some of these villagers, by the way, so some of these prices aren't totally accurate. But we got all the armor for pretty good prices, like 23 for projectile protection and 23 for just regular protection, which is really good. So I get all the armor stuff. And then what I'm working on right now is just like the tool section. So I have our mending villager, our efficiency, silk touch and flame. That was kind of an accident because we just upgraded them. And then here's another silk touch, but looting and smite. This one I still need to get fortune, and that will pretty much be everything for tools. So we have everything for armor, and then I have sharpness and smite for weapons. Also, what I'm going to do, I'm probably going to get a couple of these mending books right now because I want to go fix our tridents. So make sure they have mending, and then we're good. I forgot I have no levels. Hold on. Okay, got mending on both tridents. So we're all good there. And I can finally move at, I can't remember the rate of speed. So whenever it's raining and you have an elytra and a trident with Riptide 3, I think you can fly at like over 120 blocks a second. Or even faster. Like I at least know it's 120. But I think you can do like 200, which is just insane. Actually, I just remember we had a fortune already for 14, but discounted at 9. So we actually don't need that last guy. So we have everything we need for tools, everything we need for armor, except for Frostwalker. And I'm pretty sure that's it. Obviously, in the future, we'll have Swift Sneak, and we won't be able to get that, or Soul Speed, but that's not really too big of a deal. And so the only thing we don't really have here yet is our weapons. So we don't have, so we only have, what is it? We have sharpness and we have smite. We need fire aspect, we need looting, we need sweeping edge. And I think we'll be done. So since I've almost got this last enchantment, it's going to be a long time to make one piece of armor. I think I need 100 levels to make one piece of god armor. I think I'm going to cut to when I'm done because this is going to be a while. So I know I said I was going to cut, but I wanted to share this because this is absolutely glorious here. I think I need 32. Yeah, I'll need 32 levels, but there is the helmet. So let me get to 32 levels really fast. God, this is amazing. I think I want to call this just like God Helm. So, yeah, there we go. Nice. We officially have our first piece of God armor. This is actually so exciting. That is so many enchantments. Something that's also really nice about having God armor, I just realized, is like, I never use a chest plate because I'm always using a elytra. So if we have like all this protection on 3 pieces of armor, that's probably at least the same as a full set of diamond armor with like protection 4 or better. Which is really, really nice. So gonna equip that. And there you go. Okay, this is one set of armor done. Yeah, that's pretty nice. So just got to do it 3 more times, and it won't take the rest of my life. Okay, it has been probably, I think, maybe 2,400 emeralds and later, and a lot of hours. So right now I'm wearing the set we made, and then here is the other 3. I named one of them Ancient Builder, just, you know, maybe we could throw in some armor somewhere for a lore. So I figured it'd be kind of cool to maybe use this armor as sort of like a cool little like artifact you can find in some hidden temple somewhere, something interesting like that. But we're just going to store it inside the ender chest because God knows I'm letting that get anywhere near any mob or any kind of random chest. That needs to stay in the clouds. So no, as long as this box is in here with all this armor, nothing's going to happen. So it's probably the safest place it can be, in theory, hopefully. I'm already very paranoid because a lot of this stuff is very, very expensive. Since we have that done, I guess I can switch to 1.14.4 finally. So here we go. All right, we're in 1.14. I also swapped our name for our bow to be Menfinity. It's kind of important because I feel like if it just says bow, I might think it's a random bow. There's a chance I'll lose it. I'm already getting super paranoid about dying and like losing all this stuff. So I never really showed this area down here because I kind of rushed this. So the space between these two rooms is not great enough in order to have villagers on this side, and I need to have this wall here. So this just looks bad. Honestly, this is like kind of a necessary thing, but we got all the trades we need. We also got way more mending trades, by the way. This one was, I think, 18, which is pretty good. And then I think we had another one for like 11 or 12, which is even better than what we already had. I just figured I'd show this because we kind of, I never really explained how I got all these emeralds. So essentially I just used the rotten flesh and gold from our gold farm, and brought in about, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6 or 7 priests or clerics to just like give all the rotten flesh and all the gold to. I AFK'd for a few hours at the farm, so I had about, I'd say 8 stacks of gold blocks. And I had to come back. I used all of that and still had to come back and get more. So yeah, there was a lot. So I didn't want to record that. That was super boring and just unbelievably tedious. But the funny thing now is we're getting a whole bunch of cats, and then we have all these iron golems everywhere, which is kind of annoying, but I guess I don't really mind it. So we got our god armor, obviously, but another feature in 1.14.4 is raids, which I think is a really good opportunity to actually test out our gear. Because raids are an encounter where it's not really something you just kind of don't stop and have to heal or anything. Like you need to take a break sometimes and get away from mobs because you're taking so much damage. But that's with normal gear. I want to see if the gear we've made now, it will make the difference to where you are basically like a walking tank. So yeah. So first thing we need to do is, since we don't have any like pillagers spawning nearby to get bad omen from, I think we should go try to find a pillager outpost and then see if we can't find a captain, and then just go to a random village probably. Okay, here we go. Finally, 33,000 blocks away. So yeah, that's fun. I am okay, so let's throw on, wow, my elytra's almost done. Wow. I did not realize that. That could have been really bad. So there's a crossbow. Now, I don't know if I want to make a crossbow. I don't know if I'm like... Crossbows are fun when you have like rockets on them, but I'm not really a fan. They're not that reliable. They're kind of clunky. They're just not what I wish they were. Okay, here we go. Here's a captain. Let's kill you. Perfect. And I'm gonna sleep first if I can. Just because I want to get out of the rain and it's nighttime. If I remember, I think our village was this direction. I think if we just fly into this desert, there's probably gonna be a village that's open enough. Okay, here we go. Alright, here's our village. Let me land. And let's swap to our chest plate, and let's see what we can do. We do have a golem, which is good. Okay, which side are they coming from? I don't hear a horn yet. I think I need to turn on my hostile creatures. I had that off because of the Enderman farm. Also, I added sweeping edge to our diamond sword, so this is like completely maxed out as well. Oh, here we go. Here's one. So far we've taken 0 damage. Where is this last guy? Oh, wow, that was it. Okay. Okay. All right. I have not taken a damage yet, so that's good. Still no damage. This is insane. Oh my gosh, that projectile protection is like super effective. Okay, so the golem got him. Where are these guys? Okay, they're over here again. A ravager. Okay, here we go. Here's an actual threat. Okay, here's that's half a heart. Half a heart. Pretty much. Okay, now we're down to a heart. Normally, just getting in the face of a ravager is just not going to end very well, but this, it just doesn't matter. That's, oh my gosh. That is so much resistance. That is insane. I mean, this is difficulty 1, Bad Omen, but I mean, still. We're playing on normal, by the way. Just a reminder. Vindicators may be doing a heart there, I think. Okay, here's a actual fight here. So this is, and we got a regeneration potion. So this isn't actually going to be a good test now because of that. Okay, so we got a 5 resistance potion there, which is actually kind of big. Oh, we got 3. I didn't even notice. Oh wait, we have one more. Hold on. Let me just check this crossbow. Piercing 1. Okay, I'm not grabbing that. Where is the last guy? So either they're running around still or they're underground, which I hope that's not the case because I hate having to look. Because they're definitely going to be in a cave. Oh no, I hear him. I can hear him. Hold on. Where are they? It's definitely underground, right? It's definitely down here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so actually was not effects, which is kind of surprising. And there we go. Got a couple emeralds. Okay. Well, that was ridiculously easy. So yeah, I think that armor is strong enough to where you could probably just wear an elytra and do a raid. And you're probably not going to have a much different time than if you had, you know, protection 4 Unbreaking 3 armor. Which is really crazy to think that you're basically getting almost a whole other armor piece of protection. Because that, I mean, that is just huge. Okay, you're... How did you even... Whatever. So I made a mistake because I just found a pillager outpost over 10 times less of a distance. So we were at negative 30,000 before. This is 3,000. Alright, we're back. Finally. And we still have Hero of the Village, so I want to actually see what our prices go to, because we already have pretty good trades. I spent a long time making sure we got some pretty good deals. Not perfect, because that would have taken astronomically long, but, you know, I think all the trades we have are at least less than 30. And that even goes for, like, the protection 4 stuff, which is kind of important. So let me grab some emeralds. I think they're upstairs. Hold on. No! It's gone! So we never got a timer for it, which is weird. That's really disappointing. We just got here. So, by the way, I'm going to clean this up later. This, like, junk. This is, like, totally a mess. It won't take too long, but... Okay, here's what we should do. We should go... I'm going to go to the end and repair my elytra. Let's just go to that outpost we found, you know, significantly closer. We can just do another raid really fast. Alright, we're back. Let me see if a captain will spawn. I'm actually going to kill you, because you might give me something good, right? No? The only question I have with this outpost is that, is there a chance that it only spawns the old pillagers, because pillager captains weren't around when the pillager outpost came out. I'm pretty sure. I mean, at least Bad Omen wasn't around. Or maybe it was. Okay, we're good. We're good. No worries. Here's our captain. Okay. Actually, you know what? Let's get Bad Omen 2. Because I think we get a bigger discount, or maybe even 3, honestly. Okay, here's another. Wow, there's a lot of them. Okay, Bad Omen 2. Oh my god. Okay, let's just do Bad Omen 2. This is taking a while. And then throw our chest plate on. Alright, round 2. Okay, I think that's over here. Ooh, this is gonna be kind of rough because we got all this like weird terrain we gotta jump up and down. So this is gonna be super annoying. Okay. That's round 1. Is that hillside? Is that over here? Oh no, it's over here. Okay. It's weird. So the horn audio actually just plays in a direction based on your headphones and not where you look. So it was in my like left ear entirely, and I just kept looking left. I'm like, why do I still hear it in my left ear? Okay, there should be one more guy. There you are. Some emeralds, nice. Oh, now it is. Okay, that's weird. So it did fix itself. So now it actually does work. Like it pans when you look. So I don't know. Okay, here's our Ravager, which is doing absolutely nothing to us. As intended. Goodbye. Okay, so there I actually do have to back up and heal. Mainly because the Ravager got a healing potion, so that was kind of a good test to see how much you could take, but yeah, you're certainly, with this armor, you're never really going to get jumped up on, like really surprised by taking a lot of damage. It's very gradual, which is really nice. One more guy. Where's our last guy? Where's he at? Oh, I see him. Is that a Vindicator? Yes. Oh my god. So fast. Hey, Totem of Undying. We already have some, by the way, but just figured it'd be nice to get that again, because that's, I think, our 3rd now. It's kind of funny, the Vex actually have, like, random weapons. I mean, like, random rolls. So, like, some of them are actually, like, some of their swords are actually enchanted. I wonder if they can drop them? Probably not, I imagine. But there we go. Okay, Hero of the Village 2. Let's fly back, see what kind of deals we can get. Okay, so we're back. One thing I'm really curious is the old villagers we have from, you know, like the older generations, older versions. I wonder if they also get a discount. I wonder if they know about the effect. Oh, they do. Okay, cool. Still not getting a great deal with this iron. You know, even a new armorer would be like 4 iron, so that's not really that good. Really good discount on the coal, though. And we can always buy diamond armor with emeralds, which is really nice. Seems just like a fairly reasonable discount. So right now I have pretty much... No, I don't think I have any gold. I think I've spent it all trying to get emeralds. Oh, actually, no, we have 6, but, you know. So I think we have a couple villagers with a 2 gold trade, or maybe, yeah, 6... 7, 2, 2, 2. Okay, let's just do that and get 3 emeralds. Wow, 32 down to 21 rotten flesh is actually really good. That would triple the amount we get from our... Or that would add an extra emerald per stack of rotten flesh, which is pretty good. But I also have these books. And so some of these villagers have book trades. So here's 3, like that. Another 3. Okay, so by the way, in 1.14.4, the trades are actually... you get more per villager now, which is really frustrating because before we couldn't do that, right? We had to go in 1.14.2 to get the god armor, so it's a bit frustrating when you have to not be able to have that opportunity, but we're done anyway. So Yeah. One thing I want to do, I want to make a bamboo farm because I need to make scaffolding for future builds, and also bamboo is a really good source of fuel. Okay, so cleared out the shulker boxes, obviously, except for the gunpowder. Almost everything downstairs. And let's go find a jungle biome. So now I gotta think about a direction I've never gone in, and now I can't remember. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find a jungle that is new, that also has bamboo. I think I'm just gonna have to gamble this. I think I want to try going this way. I don't know how far we've traveled in this direction, but it feels a little bit more foreign. Just from the top of my head, I think we've gone in every direction. Pretty good. All right. Pretty good distance, so we found a jungle. Only problem is I don't know if it has bamboo. Okay, it does. Whew. I just had to make sure this was a new one, so we do have that. And that is, what, 12? Okay. The thing about a bamboo farm is, I don't know if it needs to be super complicated. I would like to try to do it on my own without, like, looking anything up and just, you know, using my brain and seeing what I can do. I imagine there's some way to harvest the top block above the source bamboo block. Maybe with observers and pistons, and use some kind of slime block flying machine that like knocks it all down. I also wonder if bone meal plays a role with bamboo. In fact, let me actually figure that out right now. Let me kill this creeper. Wow, it lived. Okay, let me get this skeleton. If you drop me a bone, please. Okay. Here's bone meal and our bamboo. Okay, it does. Only problem is, for each bone meal we have, it's going to give us 1 bamboo. But, if you remember, we also have a skeleton farm at that spawner we found in our mine. So, I think we might be able to, like, kind of combine these two things together. Make some kind of auto, kind of just save on, like, FPS. Basically have, like, a system that auto bone meals the bamboo. And then at a certain point, there'll be like maybe a redstone clock, like a repeater clock that will go around for a certain amount of time. And by the time it ends, there would have been like maybe, you know, 20-ish bamboo grown. And then it essentially just like a piston will move one of the bamboo blocks near the bottom, near the base. And that'll sort of essentially cut it down. Which is also, I have to say, this is a really cool jungle biome. First of all, you got a shipwreck on land. Really cool area. Just, I'm actually going to mark this. Cool island jungle. 8938 for negative 12,143. Money. Okay, so now we can head back and we can experiment a little. Okay, so I've got some materials for what I think I want the bamboo farm to look like, or how I think it'll work, but I'm not going to be surprised if I run into any roadblocks, is all I'm saying. So I'm just going to build this over here because this is kind of just like a blank slate area. I mean, it's clearly a wasteland already. I could get rid of this, but even just in general, like the terrain is just atrocious. So I'm not really, even though it's close to our castle, I'm just going to build it over here. So my idea for this is to basically have 1 column of bamboo going up, and then we're going to have dispensers around the bamboo, essentially constantly giving it bone meal. So it's just like spam growing for a really long time, and as the dispensers are kind of spamming, there's going to be a redstone clock, which is why I have 26 repeaters. It's not really a clock, it's just a spiral timer that continuously always keeps going. So that every, maybe 12 seconds, it'll trigger a piston to push this top bamboo block and not the bottom one. That way the rest falls down, and then the dispensers keep growing it, and then every 12 seconds it cuts it off, and they all fall down into the hoppers, and then that'll go into a chest. The reason I'm not doing like a bunch of different bamboo is because if I do a bunch, it's like super laggy. So I think if you have 1 column growing really high, then being cut, growing really high, it'll be really low cost in terms of performance, because it can get pretty messy pretty fast. And this area, our castle already has so many villagers, and I can't imagine what this is going to be like in like a year. from now, like how laggy this area is going to be. We're trying to keep it low maintenance. So we need this dirt block here, and the bamboo will go there. Then we need the dispensers to line up going into it. Something like this, just on multiple sides. Just to double check, actually. So I got a bunch of bones from our skeleton farm here for the bone meal. And I'm just going to test this out really fast just to see if it works. That way I know a dispenser is the right block to be using for this. That did not work. Hold on. Okay, yes. There we go. The only question is, will 3 dispensers work in tandem? Like, can the bamboo accept multiple bone meal really quickly? I make a redstone channel. This is really, really scuffed. I need to see if this works. Okay, that one works. Okay, so all this configuration works with redstone. Probably already seeing the problem because there's no hopper. It doesn't really matter where the base starts. I think we're actually not going to have the hoppers down here. I think we're going to have it above. That way all the redstone happens below the piston because we don't need it to be showing. So I might actually rebuild this here really quick. But also to test our theory, let's see if 3 bone meal works at once. I'm also going to mine this base. Okay, it does. Wow, that's actually really good. Okay, so far no problems. This is actually a marvel. Okay, so I'm going to rebuild this. Have a piston here. I just hope it doesn't break the redstone here. Either way, we can just work around it, but... I think we're good. Nice. And we'll go like that. Okay. And then what we can do is add glass around this to contain. So yeah, just a glass tower on the way up. That way none of this kind of escapes, because as it keeps getting higher, the items can disperse much easier, which is actually kind of a good thing because less of them are going to land in the middle there. So it'll be a good thing if it takes a longer time for the items to fall, because usually items don't break exactly where you want them to. Okay, this is pretty high here. Now, I don't know what the height cap is for bamboo, which I think we should find out here, actually. So I'm just gonna use our little system here. Actually, this is a good opportunity to test out how we're gonna have the dispensers automatically apply the bone meal. So actually, let me do this here. Maybe going to be some of the most basic redstone you'll ever see in your life. It's hideous, but it works. So, okay. So that works. Obviously, I think that doesn't take too much thought. We don't need this redstone here. In fact, I don't even think we need the cobblestone. I don't know why I left that there. It's kind of silly, but like that. And then, so we're going to leave that there. So right now, let's go test to see how fast this bamboo is going to grow. I imagine it'll hit the height cap pretty fast. And okay, that is super fast. That is actually nearly instant. So how much bamboo can we get per second with this? This is like... So in about 30 seconds, we got 30-ish seconds. I really couldn't tell. It's less than a minute for sure. 5 stacks? That actually kind of makes me want to change my mind on the piston there. So now I can't remember exactly how you get an infinite clock, but I think it's like this. Once it goes, it just goes. And we could slow it down. I think that's slow enough. We could slow it down even more. I think that's actually pretty good there. I love how janky the redstone is. It's so funny. Oh wait, let me get some redstone. And we're gonna do it the old way. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, so that is almost at the height cap. We need to slow it down a little more. Let's try that again. I have to say, that's working pretty good. The only limitation now is bone meal. And this is how much loss we're getting here, meaning how much it's not grabbing. I don't really mind losing the bamboo here. It's not it's a fraction for sure, but it's so ridiculous that I don't even know. Yeah, this is already getting filled. All of it's maxing out, so the hopper can't even keep up. Okay, so that did not take very long, and we already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That was some from before. And we still got many stacks in here as well. Okay, so I think around 256 bamboo is how much you're going to need to smelt a stack of items. So essentially, if you're converting this into coal speed to make it a little bit more understandable, this is about 36 coal right here, which means in an entire double chest we can only get 108 coal, which to me isn't bad. It's also, I don't know if it's going to work entirely for our super smelter, because I don't think the minecart hopper will be able to put enough bamboo in every furnace fast enough before it smelts it all. So if we are going to use it, we're going to have to basically stop the minecarts on the super smelter before you put your input or what you want to smelt in it, which might be kind of annoying. And we're also going to need a lot of bamboo as well. So for me, I think I'm still going to stick with coal for the super smelter, because in the future I'll be able to make charcoal, which is going to, well, not in the future, but I think in a different video I'd like to do that, because that also will take a while, because I'll probably need a tree farm as well. That'll fuel us for a while. Bamboo is okay, but really we just want this for scaffolding. Okay, nice. That's all our scaffolding. Okay, so I was thinking about making an iron farm. And I don't really know if I want to make a... Here's my philosophy about iron farms, first of all, before I even say anything. Iron farms, I either go big or go big. I will not do a small one, because I don't want to have to AFK overnight. A lot of the times you will have to do that just because the game, you know, your farm just doesn't make enough iron per hour, and so you just kind of use time to your advantage. For me, I don't want to have to ever think about making an iron farm again. So if I made a small one, in the future I'd end up making a bigger one, and to me I think it's worth the investment to just stick it out with the large one. Right now I'm just going to get some iron, because I need enough for the hoppers that I think I want to kind of make it like a sorting system. It won't really be like one, just because obviously it's only really iron. But you got to remember, in iron farms you also get poppies from the iron golems, so kind of do need to sort it out. I don't think I have enough iron for everything I need for the farm, at least for the big enough, or for it to be big enough. So I think I'm just gonna mine a bunch of iron here, and then in the next episode I'm gonna build that iron farm, because that is gonna take a while. And I gotta be honest, I've spent a good amount of hours on this episode, where it's like, especially with the god armor and all that, it'd be really drawn out. So it's really funny how different the cave generation is in these, you know, the older gen chunks we have here. It's so like desolate, you know, there's hardly anything going on. I don't know if it was just me, but I felt like the caves were just darker in older versions of the game when I was playing. I think the brightness setting was like really weird, if I remember correctly, but at least it was like that on Xbox 360, which I played on, which actually kind of reminds me of something kind of funny. Is I mean, I guess it's just story, but so I was going to like a summer camp when I was a kid, and I would go every year. I'd go with one of my friends, and I met this kid there, and we became friends, and he was like, hey, you want to, like, you know, because you're there for like a week, and by the time that week was over, he's like, hey, you want to like hang out or something? And so, you know, since you're 9, you gotta talk to their parents and all that. But I was hanging out at his house and we were playing Minecraft. You know, the kid I was playing with, he was like, man, it's so dark, I gotta make torches. And I was like, oh, you don't need to make torches. You can just turn up the gamma setting or whatever. That's what it was called. It wasn't called brightness on the 360. It was called gamma. I think it's still like that, kind of. And he was like, and then he turned it all the way up and he's like, oh my God, I can see. And then his older brother was like, dude, Max, you're so stupid. Dude, this kid's a genius. your friend's a genius, Max. You're a moron. How did you not know this? Like, just like peak older brother, totally like, ugh. But I'm also a little brother, by the way. So I don't know what that guy was doing, because it's like, hey man, it's your one. If your younger brother brings his friend over who's also a little brother, you gotta, you sort of get molded into that. That's how it goes. And he was just glazing me for that, and I was like, why? I was like, you're not doing your duties, man. You're not doing your older brother duties. You gotta bully me a little bit, but yeah, I always thought that was funny, because anytime I think about like, like, oh, I gotta turn my brightness up, I always think of that story, or just that moment. Okay, I've got 2 stacks and 2 iron and a good amount of coal. I think I'm okay with that. I think I'm gonna end the video here, because next video I want to do the iron farm. Not in this one. It's a lot of work. Takes a lot of time. So doing so many tedious things in one episode, like the villager trader and the god armor, was very, very tedious, and I wouldn't want to. It's hard to decide which video you'd like to put it in, because it is optional. I know it's a little weird to be like, oh, you don't have to do an iron farm, but for me, in the future, I need so many farms to build what I want to build, because I literally won't have enough time to mine the blocks and the ores needed in order to make the things I'd like to make necessary. But if I was like severely unemployed and had paid $0 a month, I think I could pull that, block by block effort off, but I don't think I'm going to do that, and I don't think you will either. So I'm going to end the video here. We're going to do an iron farm, and next update will be in 1.15, and I'm pretty sure we're getting bees. So I will see you in the next one. Ciao.